Okay, the first word or phrase is play the piano. So to play the piano is to make music on an instrument made out of keys that hit strings. So the reason why I wanted to bring up this word is because in English, depending on which instrument you're talking about, it might have a different verb. So with the piano, you want to use play because you're going to play the piano. Most instruments are probably play, but just so you know. Where would you play a piano? Underwater, in a car, in a house, or on a house. Foreshadow. Foreshadow means to give hints about something that will happen later in the story. So in this video, it's very quick and very subtle, which means it's kind of hard to see. But there's a moment where you can see all of this stuff in the background. So we have these two brains that are connected to one heart. We have these two birds that are connected. This little statue, the girls are connected. So everything is showing two things that are connected to each other. That's how we see foreshadowing in this video. Okay, so what in the picture is foreshadowing? There's a bird. Everything has two things connected. The picture is crooked, or the plant is dying. Amazed. Amazed is a feeling that someone gets when they think something is great. So this guy, we see him walking by and he stops and he looks over because he is amazed by the sound of the piano. So he thinks that the piano sounds great. So that's why he has this kind of face going on where he looks happy and you can tell that he is feeling good about it. So what would make someone amazed? Eating dry toast, watching a boring show, taking a nap, or seeing the Grand Canyon. Shocked. Shocked is a feeling someone gets when they are surprised. So this guy ends up seeing the truth about the girls and he gets shocked. So he is surprised, which is why his face changes. What would not be shocking, not shocking? Being electrocuted, doing tricks on a dirt bike, doing homework, or finding somebody who was born on leap day. Don't forget, this is Kiernan. He's my baby that was born on leap day. Conjoined, twins. When two people or animals are joined together. So conjoined twins are people like this, where, and this can happen to animals too, where they were born with this sort of birth defect in which they didn't like fully separate as they were developing. So as a result, they're kind of stuck together. So this happens in real life, like a lot, there are people that are born like this. And nowadays, it can usually get fixed by surgery, depending on how much the bodies are connected to one another. But other times it can't, or just the people don't want to get disconnected because they feel like that's who they are. Something to note, throughout history, conjoined twins have been seen as like freaks. So they've been put into freak shows and they've been treated really badly. And there was one specific case of twins that were Siamese, which is now called Thai, so from Thailand. So a lot of people will call people who are born like this Siamese twins, but that's not really a good way to talk about it now. A lot of people would consider that bad or racist. So it's better to use the word conjoined. So which of these are conjoined? Tia and Tamara, these kittens, Zach and Wheezy, or a dually truck? Ashamed. Ashamed means embarrassed about yourself or your actions. So this girl is ashamed because of the way that they looked. So she is embarrassed about herself. So she's trying to hide her face in her hands. She doesn't want that guy to see them because she thinks that he's going to laugh at them or something. Because, like I said, a lot of people were mean to conjoined twins in oldie times, which is where this video is set, as we can tell by their clothing. What would make you ashamed at school? Getting a 100%, losing your pants, having friends, or winning in PE. Caring. Caring means showing kindness towards others. So this sister is being caring towards the other sister because she was ashamed of herself, but she was kind of like, hey, it's okay. We can still play the piano and you don't have to worry about that guy on the outside. So she wanted to make sure that she was feeling okay, and she really cared about her sister. She was being nice to her to make sure that she wasn't ashamed anymore. Who is the most not caring person? Demi Lovato, Ted Cruz, Dora, or Thanos? Open up. So open up has two different meanings. There's a literal meaning, which is like something that you can actually do physically, and then there's a figurative meaning, which is more of like a metaphor. So the literal meaning is to remove something that blocks. So like in this case, they are removing the shades from the windows so they can see outside. They're removing stuff from the doors so the doors can be opened. So it's basically just moving stuff out of the way so that way like light can come in or something else. Or like you can also open up a can of soda. So you're removing the top from the soda so that way it's not blocking the soda anymore. The figurative meaning of open up means to allow yourself to talk to others. So these ladies are opening up all the windows and stuff, but it's showing that they're opening up themselves. So they're letting themselves be seen by the world, and they're opening up to society. They're opening up to meeting friends or getting married or whatever. If you were really worried about a friend, who could you open up to about it? A new tab, a map, a door, or the school counselor? Reflection. A reflection is an image that is seen on a shiny surface. So towards the end of the video here, we can see that the rest of the scene is just played out in this reflection, right? So they didn't like walk over this way, they walked through the door, and then we can only see what's happening through the reflection in the window. Where could you see a reflection? A clean car window, a pie, a milkshake, or some poop? Bow. To bow means to bend at the waist to show respect. So they both bow to one another to show like, oh, we're saying hi to each other. We are showing respect to each other. Maybe there's some sort of virus going on and they don't want to shake hands. So they're just bowing to each other. Something to note about this word bow. There are two different ways to pronounce it depending on what you're talking about. So if you're talking about bending at the waist, then it is bow. That's the verb. However, if you're talking about the stick that he was using to play the violin with, that stick, or like the thing that you shoot arrows with, that is a bow. So a bow would be the stick that you play a violin with, or like a bow and arrow, or the thing that you wear that like sometimes little girls wear in their hair that is also called a bow. But this is the verb where you're bending at your waist, so it is bow. Who would would you bow to? A puppy, a queen, your mom, or a desk?